What's going on, boys and girls? Welcome back to the UKLC Gauntlet. My name is Munchables. I'm joined by Orcs. He had the pleasure of casting that last series as Phelan continue to roll through this gauntlet.
Yeah, they are just stomping everyone, and it's no longer who's going to win. It's just, will anyone be able to put a challenge to Phelan? Because so far, I don't want to describe these teams, but no one's held a candle to the Irish Wolves.
I feel like it's not even about the other teams holding a candle to Phelan. It's Phelan have leveled up in a way that I haven't seen another team do right before playoffs. They got a new coach coming on in, and everything has transformed. So far, the map play has been amazing. I can't wait to see what they have coming into this one.
And that's a big talking point for this one. So the coaching staff, obviously you will see it says Connor's name, but Pad, who is the former MNM coach, is working with him as well. So a former coach up against his old org makes even more hype on this matchup. Before that, we do have to look at our MVP from last series, which was the jungler Soph.
Yeah, and I think rightly so. Soph was absolutely large and in charge during this series, 22, 5, and 16. But most importantly, game number one, yeah, I mean, we all saw the early game. We all saw the absolute destruction that he wrought.
Yeah, he just murdered Hidden. The invade was really powerful, and what I like to see is that he went the full AD. Well, not full AD, but he went the Warrior enchant, he went the Black Cleaver. He was dishing out so much damage, and you saw that in the second game when Hidden was on Talia. He would just flash on him, killing him in a couple of axes. He was man mode.
I'm not going to lie, when Hidden locked in Talia for game number 2, and we could see Olaf on the other side again, I was like, Hidden, were you not watching the early game of the match that you just played? Like, I'm not sure that this is a matchup you want to take. I'm not sure you could duel that Olaf like that.
Yeah, I think we got many instances where you could see that just wasn't possible. Monstrous performance for him. Well deserving of the MVP, but now another chance today for him to get an MVP in his belt. All of his teammates obviously did see Beartree pick one up yesterday as well. And the unsung hero went to Kamara, but they now have another matchup on the hands. And as we've explained, this is a gauntlet. It's going to get harder and harder and harder in theory. And their next challenge is one of the big boys, it's MNM.
Yeah, this is kind of like, okay, now we're at the play park at this point. No offense to the other teams, but MNM, this is one of the teams that's been taking games off of our franchise teams. This is one of the top 3, basically. Now Phelan really have their work cut out. They're no longer fighting for middle of the table. They're fighting for top of the pack, the biggest slice of the pie.
Yeah, absolutely. So we do have the rosters. Coming up first is MNM. Oh, apparently not yet. So production just.
But we will have the rosters.
We'll have them soon.
And actually, when we talk about these players, when we talk about the rosters, once again, we're going to be looking towards this top lane because Beartree again had an amazing performance. But most importantly, he's now up against Only Angel. This is a guy you absolutely can't sniff at. This is a guy that is more than willing to take 1v1s, more than willing to force situations. But most importantly, MNM are quite happy to play around him too.
Yeah, I would argue that he's been the best performing top laner in the whole league for this split. I think there's been some good performances from Sendo, but he hasn't been a consistent top laner, not because he hasn't played well, but because he's been bot lane as much as he's been top almost. But Only Angel, solid performer, constantly looking for chances to get advantages, great in team fights and playing things like this Aatrox. Now he's going up against Beartree, who is the rookie who has just made an absolute storm for himself. He has been performing so well, and it's not even like it's his rookie split. I mean, it is his rookie split, obviously, but it's not even like he's had a whole split to develop. He got brought in right at the end, and he's performing so well.
Yeah, he's been performing amazingly, and we're already going to jump straight into picks and bans here. And I'm really curious what MNM are going to do here, because we saw the picks and the bans in the last series. A lot of bans focused at Beartree, a lot of bans focused at Wisdom, but we're starting off with a Vigar, more focused at a Chew.
Yeah, so taking away some of those things in that pool. And then Syndra, so they're taking a completely new approach to the draft phase compared to all the teams before them.
I mean, I like it. The other approach didn't work.
Yeah.
So.
if it's not going to work, pointless trying it again. They've clearly prepared. They've gone with their own style of draft that's different from what Demise tried, what Dablus and Enclave tried. But Phelan, the common bans against MNM have been Akali, Aurelia, and Kiana. Those have been the staples by almost every team for such a long time. So they may go in a similar direction. They may change things up. So far, it is looking to follow that rule. And the big thing for MNM is their solo laners. What they like to do, and the reason they picked blue side, because it was their choice, is they like to first pick a powerful, flexible solo laner. And it instantly gives an advantage to either Only Angel or Chibs, and then they wait till later in the draft before they finalize where that laner is going to go. But things like the Aurelia, the Akali, the Aatrox, massive picks for Only Angel. We even saw him first pick the Jace the other day.
Yeah, absolutely. But the Aatrox as well will be taking it away from Beartree, that's kind of been his fallback pick. LeBlanc actually going to be banned away to finish this one out, but another respect ban towards Wisdom with the Volibear ban. And now we'll find out what that flex pick is going to be, and if they do go for that, because things like the Xayah also open.
They're actually taking the Olaf for Nulty.
So, taken off the board there.
Yeah, it's been a really good pick for Nulty. They're denying it away from Soft, who's consistently picked it. Plus, Soft's backup pick has been the Skarner, and Olaf does tremendously well into the Skarner.
What ultimate?
Exactly, but that does mean that Phelan, the Pantheon's been left open, and Beartree is hovering it for now. We'll see if he does lock that in.
Here's the thing. Only Angel, like I said before, incredible top laner. It would not surprise me at all if they've left that Pantheon open on purpose and have something up their own sleeves, have a counter pick in their pockets that they could bring out in this kind of situation.
Well, the big thing that's concerning to me is that we've seen the Aurelia left open that's normally banned away. And the counter that Chimera has for Aurelia is that LeBlanc, and they banned it themselves. So an interesting take on going up against MNM. If they leave the Aurelia open for this next rotation, I have no doubt MNM will pick it up. They do go for that Pantheon.
They've committed.
The Aurelia flex, a possibility here, and it would mean that Chimera needs a new option to deal with it because that LeBlanc isn't available, but
Ezreal.
Yeah, seen a bit of a different priority.
We've seen Yusa playing it quite a lot. Like, he's a very accomplished Ezreal player. There's not many other teams that are prioritizing the Ezreal like this, though.
Yeah, especially it has been nerfed in this patch. Longer cooldown on the Arcane Shift early. No AP ratio on his, well, not as much on his Mystic Shot, so the AP build is kind of dead in the water. They do lock on that Aurelia, unsurprisingly. But one of the big things with MNM is they like to play a safe bot lane. In their last 2 games, the one they won against XL, they played Sona Tom. The one before that, where they played against Demise, they played Ezreal Braum. They go for very safe, sort of, we just want to let our team do the work and we'll absorb the pressure bot lanes. And because the Chu is on Xayah, you don't have to deal with the likes of a Ziggs or something along that lines. Have picked up the Cassiopeia for Chimera, which he was big on. Would be a difficult one up against Aurelia. Yes, the Miasma can do a lot of work, but if he gets on top of you, he's still going to beat you up. Yeah,
we'll have to see where that is going to go. I would expect it to go towards Chimera, but we could still see the Aurelia go towards the top lane. I'm very curious what MNM are going to do about this Pantheon pick, because like we've seen, it has been a big pick. But also, let's bear in mind, Shen's still available. I would not be surprised to see MNM ban that during this rotation, because we've seen it's not just the Pantheon for Beartree. It's when Wisdom also has the Shen, and they have that full global rotation.
Yeah, I mean, you can Arcane Shift away as Yusa, but the Pantheon's still going to be able to get in range, you stun, and then the taunt to follow up will be enough. I think you're right, that would be the second ban for me, but now Phelan are looking at what they're denying for the rest of the team. So a couple of seconds, and they actually go for the Kennen away from Only Angel. Has had some good success, and for me, I think range top laners are the sort of thing you would play into the Pantheon. Kennen would make it difficult for him. We did see a Gnar played by Kakam, but I think he did misplay that early, and actually, Pyke comes out.
So another Wisdom ban. 3 bans out of these going towards Wisdom here. And Pyke, actually, I'm surprised Pyke made it this far through the draft, to be honest. Most teams have been just banning Pyke away from Wisdom, especially yesterday. We saw every single game Pyke banned away.
True, but a big strength was the synergy between Pyke and Veigar, the fact that you could pull him into the cage. And so that was maybe one of the reasons they didn't put as high priority. But you see the Shen come in, unsurprised, they now have great globals already for Phelan, which they love to use. And MNM has to round out that composition. They need a bot lane that can hold up against the pressure of Phelan. And then they need a solo lane who can put out pressure and facilitate the rest of the team. And we talked about it before, Aatrox may well be the pick, but for now, they may not be ready to take that one.
We'll have to see where they're going to go with this one. 2 seconds till the lock-in, and Braum is going to be the pick in the end.
Yeah, effective against Xayah, because it can block those feathers. And it was the bot lane that they did play up against Demise in the week 7 of the UKLC. So a very safe bot lane. And now it comes down to what they want to round out the composition with. I think it is just potentially going to be that Aatrox. Really strong solo laners. A lot of skill expression for Only Angel and Chibs.
Now, we have seen this matchup. If the Aatrox is locked in and it goes to the top lane, we've seen Beartree take on an Aatrox with the Pantheon.
But, and there's always a but, matchups can go a certain way depending on the player's skill, but there is always the question of who is the better player out of Only Angel and Beartree. Yes, Beartree had his way in previous matchups, but as I said, Only Angel arguably the strongest top lane in the league.
Each one of these series getting harder and harder as we go through the gauntlet.
Exactly. Will it be enough?
Sin, let's go soft.
Yeah,
you said expression of skill. That's the champ.
That is absolutely it. It is the sort of champion we attributed to Soft last split. It was his pocket pick, And with Skarner not an option against the Olaf off the table, he's opted to go back to an old favorite. He is on that Lee Sin, so this should be a volatile match.
Yeah, Soft going full Broxer here, but also, most importantly, full early game. Olaf versus Lee Sin. Both of them love to gank. Both of them love to counter jungle. Both of them love to be aggressive. And, you know, it's become almost a meme at this point that Phelan love that Infernal Drake, and the Infernal Drake loves them just as much. A Lee Sin versus an Olaf is certainly two compositions that are going to be contesting for those early objectives.
Yeah, big thing for me, though, is I feel like there's going to be more aggression in the bot side for Phelan. They have that Xayah in the bot lane, should be able to get priority, should be able to take over that side, and they can look towards focusing on those dragons. MNM have sort of said, we're fine with chilling bot lane, farming up. The rest of the map is where we want the strength. They want to get that Aatrox ahead. They want to get that Aurelia ahead. These massive bruisers who are so strong in team fights and so difficult to deal with, like Phelan. My concern is, though, if they get later, they are up against a Cassiopeia. They are a full AD composition up against the likes of a Pantheon. We saw how bulky he can get later on.
5 Thornmails, baby. Let's go.
That's the way.
But honestly, the big question is, can Phelan keep running this gauntlet? MNM, this is a team with a huge reputation behind them. They've got a lot of great players on that roster, but they've been around the scene for decades at this point. That's not quite the truth, but it feels that way, that's for sure. Phelan, however, fresh boys on the scene right here, and they're looking to run the gauntlet. We do have our predictions coming on into this series, though, and I'm all aboard the hype train, man. I've called 2-0 Phelan.
That's pretty hypey. I believe I went 2-1 MNM. I do have an agreement in place with Phelan management that I will never vote for Phelan. The curse is on their side.
The curse is strong.
And I'm not sure exactly what score Hipbrain went.
Jake went 2-0 to MNM, I believe.
Confident.
And yeah, partly my prediction there is a little bit just to rile Cal up. He's, you know, he gets a little bit riled when you predict against him.
I'm sure he's sitting there.
I'll see you at LAN.
I'm sure he's sitting there with his 3 UK scene trophies.
Yeah, cuddling them.
Just sitting there like,
His babies. Oh dear. Well, we'll see if they're going to be fighting for another UK scene trophy, because Phelan is going to be in their way, and Phelan have been looking unstoppable today. Multiple teams now. People have said this is the end for Phelan. They keep on going, though, and they keep going in convincing fashion. That's the most important part. This is not the same team that we saw during the group stages.
Absolutely, and it's been so dominant. And the argument you can make is, yes, a lot of these teams, you know, Dabless won the downward trend, Enclave win the strongest team in the regular split. Demise had been looking good, but still a less experienced squad. Now is where it should get difficult, but we've been wrong before. I've been wrong a lot before, so that's what we got to see here. And I think that regardless of the outcome, this should be a very close series.
Honestly, I'm just hoping for a 2-1 in either direction at this point. I just want to see some sick games, because I feel like the way that Phelan have been playing, this should be a good matchup against MNM. But MNM, they have a reputation. They have some all-star players. They've been beating the franchise teams. Let's find out if they have what it takes to stop the Miracle Gauntlet run here as we head on to Summoner's Rift and kick off our 4th series here in the Gauntlet. Phelan trying to make this run happen. And we'll see if this draft is good enough to keep that going.
Yeah, massive amount going to be on the shoulders of these solo laners, but that is how MNM play. They look for the solo laners to be in charge, to be making the big plays for the team, and it comes down to how well Nulty can facilitate them in the early game. They need him to be on par. And I think he's in a comfortable position. He's on the solo off. He's had some really great games in it. Has been in a really powerful position before. He has often looked for those invades himself that we saw Soft do in the previous series. But right now, it looks like both junglers going for a fairly safe start. Wanting to go for their reds for that early pressure.
Yeah, so no level 1 shenanigans. I say that Chib's going quite aggressive here, but just going to be dropping that deep ward. Going to be trying to keep tabs on Soft during this early game. Chimera will give him a little love tap to start this lane off. But once again, as you mentioned before, it's going to be that Aurelia going up against the Cassiopeia in the mid lane. Obviously, level 1, no issues. But once you get some abilities on Aurelia, you can certainly look for an all-in.
Absolutely can. And the thing is, you're so mobile in the Aurelia. If you don't manage to land those poisons, the amount of damage from your Twin Fangs is cut down considerably. So Chimera, if you start to miss some of these skill shots, you will get in trouble pretty quickly.
All of these lanes just going to be sparring to start things off here. Shogun and Yusa. They've played this lane before. Both Braum and Ezreal, picks that we don't see all too much here in the UKLC, but these guys have already proven themselves on these picks. They've already shown that they are comfortable and they are more than competent. Stun coming in the mid lane though. Chimera taking a good chunk of damage and barely able to trade back onto Chips.
And this is a big thing, is that he used so much mana to even try and equalize that trade. That's a difficulty of a Cassiopeia early, is the mana is never going to be in your favor. Chibs happy just to use his low-cost abilities and go for that one. Do you see a bit of the top lane situation? Only Angel looking fairly confident in this matchup so far, but it is early days.
Yeah, and that level 1 Aatrox, I mean, it's like level 1 Riven, right? You essentially have 3 abilities when everyone else has 1. So level 1, you're always going to be looking pretty good in the trades, except against range matchups. So Bear Tree will be able to farm up this relatively large wave that's coming under the tower. Should be able to catch up just a little bit. No, Chips once again looking for this damage, but Chimera is going to be just about under tower, so gets away with that one for now. But just getting through those corrupting potion stacks is one of the most important things. As Bear Tree feeling the punishment up in this top lane and is basically out of mana.
Yeah, obviously being gated by your mana as a Pantheon, very different situation compared to Only Angel, who can do what he wants. Wisdom looking for that.
Here we go, Wisdom once again with these early roams. Taunt does go down, grounded for Chips, but just not enough damage to finish him off. That was an Ignite used as well from Wisdom.
Yeah, looking again for those early roams. The thing is, they constantly had pressure bot lane, which allowed them to do that, but they sacrificed all of that. Give MNM a chance to shove and return, and in the end, yes, they chunked Chibs out, but they burned an Ignite, and they did not get the kill. Chibs in a safe enough position to avoid that. Didn't even have to burn his flash.
Bear Tree starting to actually trade this damage back now. Obviously had the minions on his side for that one. And Nolty moving up towards the top lane. Bear Tree's going to spot him out with a ward, so he'll be perfectly safe. But he is looking to stick around here while Nolty is going to be waiting in the wings. Just going to stay in experience range.
And that's the big thing, is all you have to do is clear that ward out in the river and show your face. And Bear Tree cannot play like he was 2 seconds ago. Looking for those aggressive trades, looking to jump in with a stun. You have to respect the fact he does now have a bit more freedom. Soft moves over, puts that pink ward down, so now Bear Tree can go back to being aggressive. But Only Angel able to pick up quite a considerable CS lead already here. And think about the fact that there's a big wave pushing in, and he's already 8 CS up without that. So Only Angel, yes, his trades may not have been going completely his way, but he's been doing good in the farming department.
He certainly has. He is going to be ahead and has a big old minion wave there to get his teeth into. So it'll be about 10 CS up by the end of that one. So good start here for Only Angel. And Bear Tree is actually going to return to base, get some items behind it.
Could it be any other way? First Drake is an Infernal.
The way that it has to be in this matchup, I'm afraid, my friend. And when we take a look at the CS numbers across the board, honestly, top lane is pretty much the only significant lead here. You've got a 15 CS lead in favor of Only Angel, who is recalling, so that should be minimized just a little bit as Bear Tree walks back into lane. But all things considered, it's a relatively even matchup right now. Everybody doing a decent job of farming. We've not had any crazy all-ins around the board, except for just the one attempt onto Chibs, but didn't even blow a flash, so it's not going to be too insane.
Yeah, being fairly safe for now. Wisdom, he's looking for a play towards mid lane. He's just backed and got that Sheen, opting for the more early power with that compared to picking up the tier. But now, Soft and Wisdom looking to go aggressive. And they've actually found Nolty. Damage is coming in, and that's just going to be enough to get the kill onto Nolty. Flash burn was not enough to keep him alive. And Phelan, it's the power of that jungle and that support duo working together to make the impact on the map. And Wisdom, once again, rewarded for his roaming and his aggression.
Yeah, phenomenal stuff coming out once again. The kill going the way of Soft as well. Such an important target to get that kill on. And now, in classic Phelan fashion, they are going to start this Infernal Drake off. They are going to be able to kick this series off in style. Chibs coming around, though, is going to deter them from the objective.
Yeah, it's enough to scare them off. They will get some good vision control down there. They will get the Scuttle Crab in the river.
The Chew needs to be a little bit careful here.
Yeah, does actually miss the Blade Caller. The Chew is quite low on health and mana. And that is the burden. If you move Shen over to the mid lane to apply pressure there, yes, you're rewarded with that kill. It's absolutely the good move to make, but it does cost a Chew in the bot lane department.
It certainly will cost him. And so far, everything going just about fine, but we're starting to get to the point now where everyone across the board is going to hit level 6. And that, with an Infernal Drake on the board especially, is the point where we'll see these bot lanes trying to force something, trying to make something happen. And also Soft, once he gets level 6, his ganking potential goes through the roof.
Absolutely does. You can use that kick just to set up plays so effectively. It's going to be interesting to see where he applies the pressure. This has been a very slow game in comparison to the rest we've seen from these teams. And now, Nulty, he's just looking to clear out some of the vision in this river. Goes over the Blast Clone, does have his level 6 Ragnarok, so any CC wouldn't be a threat. But now, bit of an all-in coming in bot. There's some good trades onto Shogun there. It's some down at half HP, and Yusa very low on mana. Remember, no TP here, but Achu.
Oh, the ultimate goes through, but Achu just about survives. True Shot Barrage. Not quite true enough on this one. Nulty starting off the Infernal Drake, but Wisdom's here. Soft arriving as well. 3,000 HP remaining still. But this is a 3v4. Make that 5 versus 3. In fact, teleports channel from both teams. In goes Chimera, flashes for the ultimate, but he's going to go down. This is all for MNM right now. Wisdom has to turn away from everything and chips with a double.
Yeah, good play from MNM. They know they have the numbers advantage. Achu has no TP. He had no health or mana, and although it looked a bit sketchy for a second, there is enough power from MNM to shut down Phelan's attempt. And for the first time, a team has denied an Infernal from Phelan in the Gauntlet. And MNM, they lost that kill in the early game, but they are already looking on par for the course to give a real challenge to Phelan.
Yeah, they certainly are. And 2 kills for Chibs as well. We've seen how hard an Aurelia can snowball, and Chibs is no slouch when it comes to that champion.
Absolutely. He has performed so well, and he is the best person to have those 2 kills on. Just have the tier mana phase right now, so a bit more bulkiness and a lot of base AD. And the thing is, if you look at Chimera's items, most of his gold has been invested in that tier. And yes, it's going to be a monstrous item later on when he gets that Saros, but he's a long way away from that now, and he's not even wanting to lane up against the likes of Chibs. He's gone to the top side.
And now the question becomes, oh, here we go. Bear Tree coming on in, goes for the Grand Starfall and gets this as well. Soft's in, but Yusa managing to jump away from the fight. Phelan with the spear. Bear Tree can't land it.
Oh, was close. Flash just have to get burned by Yusa, but so much invested by the likes of Phelan in order to get that. And if you look, they moved Achu and Wisdom up to the mid lane. But that means that it's just Only Angel's opportunity to push in bot lane by himself, uncontested. Phelan trying to make the map movements, but MNM wise to their plays. And big thing to take account of, Wisdom was still level 5 when that play happened. So no way to bring the Shen in on top of that.
Yeah. Nulty now trying to start something, gets 2 under toes onto Wisdom, who's starting to feel the hurt right now. True Shot Barrage goes on to 2. But MNM can't quite complete a kill right now. Rift Herald will be their reward though.
Yeah, just enough to get them low so they can force onto this Rift Herald. Wisdom's still level 5, otherwise he could have recalled and potentially ulted back in, but right now he's just going to go towards the top side, look for a recall of himself, but this Rift Herald is going to go down uncontested. And this is the first time we really see Phelan not have the early game that they were looking for.
Yeah, and now the question becomes, what can Phelan do when they're playing from behind? We've rarely seen it across the last 2 days. Phelan have been playing for the early game. They've been playing for at least even once they get to the mid game. They've been using these map movements to snowball lanes. But when the map movements don't work, when MNM has an answer for all of the plays that have been snowballing you games, what's the backup plan?
Scale. They have a lot of scaling on their side. They just have to minimize the amount of pressure that MNM can exert, go for cross-map plays, and look to scale up. You can see that they're trying to handle their lane assignments in a way where no one's getting pressured too much. Braum and Ezreal are going towards the mid lane. Achu and Wisdom in the top side. That actually could be a bit of a scary situation, because if Chibs comes up top, could be enough to turn that one around. And now they're looking for Only Angel.
Here we go. Phelan going in. Only Angel flashes over the wall. And I think Wisdom tried to get the taunt over, but did just hit the wall on that one.
Didn't want to commit his flash in that situation. And in the end, they commit a lot. But once again, MNM wise to it.
Oh, Achu flashing away from Chips right there. And if he hadn't, that almost certainly would have been a kill. Both ultimates used from MNM.
Just manages to avoid the damage and the CC coming in from the likes of Chibs, but That's the issue. You use the shutout to go bot. They will look to punish that Zyus by herself, and now she's backed away. She does not want to stay in this tower alone.
Here we go, though.
Herald.
Herald up top. Teleport is going to be the answer coming out from Phelan. We could have a fight on our hands. Look at those turret plates going down. Chip's going to be chased away as Soph arrives on the scene. They'll be able to finish that Herald off. So not losing a tower here. Still no towers dropped across the entire map.
A lot of plates, though. You see for the side of Phelan, they've managed to pick up 2. And that's actually been tied out with that Rift Herald. So both teams relatively even in that regard. The extra kills, however, and some CS differences have put MNM just under 1,000 ahead. It's not a massive lead by all means, and Phelan showing that just because they don't have a good early game doesn't mean they can't hold on with MNM.
And one of the most important things there is Phelan having an answer when MNM decide to initiate a play, because we've seen so far this game, MNM are able to counter Phelan's early plays. Now that we've seen MNM try and make something else happen, we've seen Phelan answer too. So far, both teams comfortably going toe-to-toe with one another. Talk about wave clear.
Yeah, that is some fast wave clear. And you do see just how the gold showing up there. Chibs, there's 1,000 gold difference between the teams, and he has 1,000 gold difference between him and Chimera. Next Dragon is a mountain, another high priority one. It looks like MNM are trying to secure this one as well. Battery is coming down. Grand Starfall could come in.
Certainly could. Wisdom, though, taking a huge amount of damage. True Shot Barrage goes through. Wisdom's in trouble. Will flash away. In the meantime, Nolty gets the Dragon. Now Shogun pushing on forward. But his Glacial Fissure not really enough to turn that into a full fight.
Isn't, but just poke from Musa coming out there was so crucial in setting up that play. Phelan, it looked very half-hearted. They wanted to contest, but in the end, they just ended up losing a flash from Soph. And now, plates have gone down. 2 each was the end, and although it's even, it's a very small amount.
It certainly is. However, we do have a 2-dragon lead right now in favor of MNM. And we just want to say hello as well to all of the fans at home from Superliga Orange who are joining this stream. Welcome, welcome. This is the UKLC. And these are 2 of our highlight teams going head-to-head, fighting through the Gauntlet. We're on the 4th series of the Gauntlet right now. There's 1 series left, and the winner of that next series will be going to our finals.
Yeah, and Phelan just managing to avoid relegations, have climbed all this way up the Gauntlet. They're up against MNM, our 3rd place team, but fight is breaking out.
Here we go. Big fight coming on through. Vism getting a double taunt, but it's not enough to survive. Soph and Beartree both going to try and run away. Soph will get away with it, but Beartree will be chased on down. MNM grouping up and crushing Phelan.
Yeah, they destroyed them. Beartree had the Shen on his back, and we praise his combo so much. But when you bring 2 and MNM bring 4, you are not going to win that fight.
So far, Phelan, we've seen them dominating in previous games, but MNM seem to have their number. Chimera will be able to get a bit of a push in the spot lane in the meantime. But the question is, MNM not actually really pushing for any objectives off the back of that fight. They did get the 1 tower for themselves.
And this is a situation, as you see 2 members at MNM, Beartree feels confident going for this play with the channel, but instantly you see the TP come in, you see Shogun walking over. 4 members is almost always going to beat 2, and a great Winter's Bite from Shogun just to secure that kill on the Beartree.
Good effort from Beartree to try and get over the wall to get away with his stun, but not enough to survive. A turret goes down. It's not quite going to be traded either. Chimera could not take that bottom tower. So now MNM starting to really cement this lead. 2 dragons behind them, 2,500 gold, and not to mention, they are the only ones to have taken a tower.
Yeah, but Phelan still have that scale and aspect, and you got to remember what this would mean for both of these organizations. MNM looking to challenge the LEC sister teams. Next in the Gauntlet is XL. Whichever team wins here will face them, and I know that Phelan, it'd be a massive privilege to even get there, but for MNM, they're looking to challenge them.
Gets the taunt on in. Soph finds his Sonic Wave and will commit to this one. Glacial Fissure gets the knock up onto Mr. Lee Sin here, but Beartree comes on in. fact, not quite going to be able to find the back of the fight. True Shot Barrage over everyone.
Jibs.
Him and Soft solo, and in comes Jibs. He's going to clear this one up completely. Actually, no, deleted himself. Achu doing damage from the backline here. In comes the taunt to try and deny this damage, but Nolty is finishing everyone off. Chimera is going to go down as everyone goes golden. Achu flashes for the play, but he's going to be taken out by Yusa. Surely everyone's so low. Achu will fall in the end.
And it's such a close fight. I thought that Chibs would come in and clean it up, but the miasma from Chimera was beautiful. But you know what? They could not shut down Yusa. He was dominant in that team fight.
Look at Only Angel pushing. In the meantime, he's already onto the tier 2 in the top lane. Yusa going to be pushing in the mid.
And we'll get a little breakdown of how that one came about. And there were lots of little misplays that made a big difference. So you can see they're committing pretty heavily to Shogun. Shogun's happy to take the brunt of this damage, and then Soft, he actually uses his kick onto the ulted Nolty, just not have to do anything. This ult from Yusa is huge. And Chibs, watch the miasma from Chimera right on top of him, shuts him down, but Yusa is flawless here. Watch his positioning. He's constantly landing poke, well, apart from then, but he's maneuvering around the fight, jumps on a Chimera and shuts him down, and he is just such a threat. And then a great bait from Shogun. It's MNM bot lane who came out huge in this one.
So close to finishing off Nolty there as well for Achu, but not enough, and it ends up being a 2 for 5. Now Soft trying to make a play onto Chibs. He flashes, but he's going to get taunted straight away. Soft onto the backline. Chimera not close enough to do damage, though. And Chibs gets away with his life.
And again, they use the channel and they get nothing for it. It's just consistently Wisdom is not getting the impact he'd like. He has been one of the strongest members on Phelan throughout the Gauntlet, and here, his impact is just negligible.
Phelan feels like starting to fall apart just a little bit at this stage. 5,000 gold is the lead in favor of MNM, and they are not looking to slow down. Another Infernal Drake comes. The look of the Irish has been the story, but now it's looking like it might be 2 against them. Fighting the bottom lane. Chimera finding a 1v1. Chibs goes down as the Snake is not looking to fall in this one. Shogun gonna get knocked away here. Infernal Drake getting incredibly low. It's actually gonna be Yusa picking that one up. But now Only Angel getting onto Wisdom. In the meantime, Shogun goes down. Phelan looking for a fight right now. Yusa over the wall will finish off Bear Tree. And now we do have the grounding onto Only Angel. Flashes away. True Shot Barrage. Yusa picks up a double.
Yusa secures the Drake. He gets a double. He is saving MNM here because I was concerned. This solo kill from Chimera is huge. I thought if they won that fight, maybe it would have got them back in this game, but it's not enough. And Yusa popping off in this game. 5-0-3.
Yeah, 600 gold bounty for Yusa as well. That is a terrifying number. Obviously, it's a lot of gold if it went the other way, but it's about how much gold he has to have achieved that bounty in the first place. He's doing so much damage already at multiple tier 3 items, looking for his third on top of his boots.
Yeah, and he will get that tier 2 mid in return for the bot lane turret. So constantly MNM ahead of the play. They're 4k gold up, got 3 massively impactful dragons. They're in a really good position right now with Baron spawning. It's 20 minutes. They have a lot of DPS. 2 Infernals on the mountain. That's about as good as it can get for Baron taking speed. You can see already Soft heading over. He is very worried about a Baron rush coming out from the side of MNM.
This is a huge test now for Phelan Gaming. We already know that MNM is a great squad. Everyone is expecting MNM to be a favorite coming into this one. When it comes to standings, when it comes to seeding, MNM are absolutely the team to be watching. It was all about whether Phelan could do what they've done to each other team in the Gauntlet so far. And now they've fallen behind in objectives. The thing that everybody has been praising for this team, how well they've controlled the map in the early stages of the game. But we're beyond the early game now. And Phelan, they've fallen behind.
Absolutely, but the scaling is still there. And if you have a look at Yusa, he's building AP. Remember, the Ezreal scaling has been nerfed pretty heavily. Half the ratio on his Q. So later in the game, MNM will absolutely fall off. So yes, they're ahead. They're in control. They're looking great. But Phelan absolutely still have a hope. And now they're looking for a bit of a cheesy play on the Chibs.
That might just be what the doctor ordered, though. Chibs going to go for the wave clear. Flash taunt onto Chibs, and the teleport going to be channeled as well. Chibs goes down. But, oh, this is not a teleport you wanted to follow, my friend. Immediately, Only Angel will just get wiped on out. Nolty running for his life, but Baron's starting to be pinged.
Yeah, they're going to look for that one. Remember, Yusa and Shogun still alive. They're heading over. They're opting not to look for the mid inhibitor. They want to contest this. And Nolty, he's alive with a smite.
Yusa's been the MVP so far. This could be his moment. His True Shot barrages have been exceptional. Flashing to get to a good position. Arcane Shift at least 2,000. There's a good taunt coming on in. Glacial Fissure over everyone. Look at the damage coming out from Yusa. Betry flashing away from this one. But it is in fact Nalty that goes down. Chimera now flashed onto Yusa. Going absolutely wild. Double kill for him.
Yeah, but at the end of everything, although they managed to get a double kill in the fight, Phelan get the Baron. They get what they needed. And they're in a great position now. I said the scaling is in their favor. They've just denied a massive game-ending objective from MNM. They're still down in gold. Yusa's still strong, but Phelan have shown some life in this game.
And ultimately, the Baron for 2 deaths, you'll take that any day of the week, especially when you're trading it 2 for 1 in terms of those kills.
I mean, overall, it was 2 for 3. They killed Only Angel Chibs before the Baron even came up. They traded so well for that objective. And Phelan, we thought they were an early game team. We were worried what would happen if they fell behind. And they've shown us they can still persevere and close the thing out. But still down in gold, still down 2 Infernals.
Still a long way to go here for Phelan, but showing that they are not down and out just yet. They're still fighting for this one. Only Angel down in the bottom lane. And I want to talk a little bit about this top lane matchup. We mentioned it right at the start of the game. Only Angel versus Bear Tree. Bear Tree, even on this Pantheon that we've all been raving about across the course of playoffs. But Only Angel, he's had his number. 30 CS lead, 2 kills up as well. And Bear Tree, not really been able to have quite as impactful ultimates as we've seen from him in the past.
Absolutely hasn't, and the Pantheon will fall off.
Oh,
but
here we go.
Oh.
Yusa, nice true shot barrage just to push Chimera away. This is going to be a tower going down. MNM forcing objectives here. Only Angel actually going to get stunned underneath the tower. Have a 1v1 between our top laners here. It looks like Only Angel gets away with his life. Shogun going to be able to stash away. Taunt onto 2. That's going to be grounding as well. Look at this. Nothing Chips can do about it. He goes down. Bear Tree arrives on the scene. Nalty trying to get away with his life here. Bear Tree doesn't have his spear available. Dragon about to spawn. That's what they're going to look to.
They're going to head straight over. We will see. It is a...
Drumroll, please.
Another
it's an
Infernal,
Drake. Believe it or not.
Best case scenario for Phelan. They'll be able to equalize some of those stats obtained by MNM, but what a team fight. What a force, and Soft comes in with Wisdom backing him up. A great Miasma from Chimera, and this is the power of that Cassiopeia, and the further they get in the game, the more of an issue it'll become.
And this is like, this game is a perfect example of why the grounding being able to be put so much closer to Cassiopeia is such an important change. Happened very recently. And so many times we've seen Chimera just drop it right underneath his feet. Chibs can't follow up on the all-in.
It cuts down so many members of MNM's team. Those big bruisers they have in the mid and top cannot do anything without their mobility.
Interestingly as well, we're seeing Yusa still go for this AP build, but Only Angel actually getting slowed down by the red buff. Chu wants to go for this one. Actually going to pop the World Ender just to get away. Only Angel survives.
Yeah, and I understand the reason he goes for AP, because otherwise they would lack a lot of magical damage in the later stages, but the AP ratio in his Mystic Shot was half. He will, I mean, already Ezreal isn't the best scaling AD carry. It's going to scale a bit worse after the changes. And you can see Phelan, a lot of armor already been picked up to deal with the likes of Only Angel, Chibs, and Nalty. Yusa has to be that magic damage source for the team. But it's still going to get difficult as the game goes on to cut through the likes of this Pantheon, especially when Bear Tree can block so much of his damage.
Speaking of Bear Tree, he's all alone in this bottom lane trying to defend a tier 2 tower. MNM have been rotating so much better than Phelan so far this game. They've been doing a great job of staying on top of these objectives. Bear Tree is going to be here to defend. The tower didn't go down just yet, and now the rest of the squad's starting to arrive.
Yeah, and this could be another opportunity for them to look for an engage. There's a ward way behind, but no TPs available. It would have to be an engage from the front unless Bear Tree wants to ult behind them. For now, they're going to clear out the wave.
The problem is, if Bear Tree ults too deep, he will just get all in, finished off. Chips can quite happily get a stun. Shogun can follow up. And at that point, it's a lost fight for Phelan. See how this one's going to continue to pan out. True Shot Barrage. Not going to find its mark here. Flash Torn. It's going to be Ezreal down. Yusa eliminated.
Just disrespect from Yusa. Wasn't prepared for Wisdom to come in. And now Phelan, they're going for the engage.
Here comes Bear Tree, and Visdom's going to follow up too. Can't quite get in range of the taunt, though, for this one. Spear's not quite going to connect either. But either way, they're going to be able to get towards this mid lane and look for some much-needed towers.
Absolutely will, and it's a massive shutdown coming from UC. It went over to a Chu as well, 1,000 gold in his pockets. But for now, they're going to use their man advantage to try and get this mid tower. Engage comes in.
Here we go. Betry diving under this tower. He's knocked up by the Glacial Fissure immediately. Chips getting onto the back line, and it's actually going to be Nulty picking up the first kill. Now everybody backing away from Phelan. Achu has so many feathers down. We'll be able to get the Blade Caller onto multiple members. It's not enough to force the fight. Chips wants to stun, but won't find it.
Yeah, a bit over-aggressive there from Betry, but the game is very much starting to swing in Phelan's favor. They've equalized the stats on the Infernal. They've actually gained level advantages. Look at the gold as well. That 1,000 gold bounty has put Achu ahead of Yusa for the first time this game, I feel. And that's the fact you have to take into account Klepto gold from Yusa as well. The CS advantage coming in huge for Achu. There's still a gold lead in the top lane for MNM. There's still a gold lead in the jungle. But there's massive carries in the mid and bot lane starting to swing in Phelan's favor. And those are the ones you're looking towards for the later stages. The Cassiopeia, the Xayah.
One of the big things you got to bear in mind as well, there was a bunch of turret plates that went down in favor of MNM. We've got 6 turrets down for MNM versus 2 for Phelan, and the fact that the gold is pretty much even says a lot about the state of this game at this stage. Baron is back though. We have a major objective on the map, and neither of these teams will be willing to give it up. We've seen both of these teams love to control those neutral objectives. It's time to find out who will be best.
Absolutely. Got to ask you though, Munch. Is this delivering? You said you wanted a close series.
Man,
it's game 1.
When this game started and MNM just started to get the ball rolling, I was like, not like this. Don't end Phelan's run with a clean 2-0. Right now, Phelan versus MNM is absolutely living up to the hype. 14-12, even gold, and we've got a fight in the bot lane. Yusa jumps in, Betry in serious trouble. Only Angel trying to finish the fight, but will be able to get away. Flash comes out from Betry.
Yeah, they force a flash from Betry, a big tool to shut down before the team fight. Obviously needs that to get in range of some of the more vital targets like Yusa with that stun. And they're going to try to keep applying pressure. TP is available to both Only Angel and Yusa, so they want to join the fight for the Baron, and they can.
Here we go. Tier 2 is going to drop in the bottom lane. Yusa has a lot of damage to follow up onto Betry. Only Angel, though, trying to get away with his life. Taunt actually does not land onto Only Angel, and that might just be his escape. Chimera going to try and follow up. Yusa still just free-firing in the backline right now. Wisdom finally gets a taunt. He's going to be grounded coming on through. In fact, no, Miasma's not there. Yusa gets away. He will fall, though. Chimera gets a beautiful ult. Betry still surviving. Only Angel just about trying to finish the job, and he won't do it. Chimera with a double.
Oh, great play coming out from Phelan. It was some nice moves from MNM. The dodge away from the taunt from Only Angel was so clutch, but it wasn't enough. The chasing came through. Wisdom finally lands a taunt on Yusa, and Chimera is there to clean up. He is dominating right now in this Cassiopeia. So much damage, so much utility.
30-second death timers on those 2 players right now. Achu, though, very lonely right there. Soft was not with him. Teleport starting to be channeled on in here as Phelan look for a Baron. Chibs on the back line. It's 4 versus 3 right now. Wisdom still on his way and does not have Stand United. Shogun and Nulty having to back away from this one. Wisdom Hex Flash over the wall, but it's not quick enough to get onto the situation. Respawn's coming in, and both players have teleports.
Yeah, they're both going to be able to join this fight. They're starting to TP in mid.
Baron's coming down so quickly, though. This is surely a Phelan Baron. The question is, how does the fight turn out? Chibs getting chunked down in the back line, but it's Wisdom first to fall right now, and they charge on forward. Betry, the next target. Only Angels in the back line. It's all falling apart for Phelan. There's another kill going down. It's going to be 2 for 1 so far. As Soft trying to get out with his life. Will jump over the wall. Betry's alone, and Yusa is cleaning up. Chimera still alive. There is still damage on this Phelan squad, but Betry will be sacrificed for Chimera to survive.
Yeah, very dominant fight coming out from MNM. Yes, the Baron goes to Phelan, but they lose so much more members, only dropping 2 of MNM, and now they're looking to push the mid lane. No inhibitor tower. It's only Chimera to defend, but he has that petrifying gaze. He is monstrously strong right now. Can he do it?
There's an open inhibitor in this mid lane, though, and MNM have set their sights on the objectives. Chibs and Yusa will be more than enough to finish this one off. They will have to back away as the respawn starts coming in. It was a very staggered fight, so Wisdom's up again, and now they move towards the Drake.
Yeah, Cloud Dragon should have been an easy pickup for MNM. Nowhere near as high priority as the other ones that's been on the cards, but MNM, Phelan, both fighting with everything they can offer in this game, and it's so neck and neck. A 1,000 gold difference, kills only 2 apart. But Phelan now have that Baron for another 2 minutes, and there's so many towers on the map that they could look to take. Mid, outer tower still available.
We need to see Phelan use and abuse this Baron buff. This has to be a massive gold swing for them because they are 4 dragons down. The next dragon will be that Elder, and they cannot afford for MNM to last long enough to use a buff like that.
And that's the big thing, is that the early game from MNM cemented all those dragons in their favor, and when it gets the Elder, it's just another win condition that they can use. You can see a Chew and Wisdom actually on the side lane, and the thing is, the only person with the Baron is Chimera. He's been forced back in mid lane. Looks like the recalls are coming in, and this is where I expect to see an engage, but MNM, they sniff it out, they back off, but so do Phelan, a Chew and Wisdom still pushing.
They should be able to finish that tower off potentially. They are umming and ahhing about the situation. Don't go for the face check, Soft. It's not worth it. They get shut down. Bear Tree will drop as well. This might just be game. MNM can turn this into more.
Yeah, and it looks like a Chew's still going to push the bot lane for a little bit. 5 members alive for MNM. They're wanting to end. They're pushing up the mid lane. Inhibitor down. They're looking for more.
Not like this. Surely not. Soft and Bear Tree just face checking the jungle, and now it's all falling apart. 3 versus 5 for another 30 seconds. Chimera will give Baron buff to the minions when they spawn, but it's a little while away. Look at the damage from True Shot Barrage. This is going to be the first tower already starting to get chunked on out. 1 down, 1 to go. MNM want this one. They want more. Achu and Chimera gonna be able to hold the fight as Wisdom postures so aggressively. 10 seconds on the respawns and MNM back away.
Yeah, they get a tower though. They get a couple of kills, and Bear Tree and Soft, the MVP performers for this Phelan roster, make a rookie mistake, and it costs Phelan dearly. The Baron about to time out. They got nothing from it at all. And like you said, the big objective on the table, the one that's going to be coming up, is that Elder Dragon. However, Rabadon's picked up for Chimera, and that Cassiopeia is my player to watch for the next team fight, because her damage is obscene right now.
Yeah, you were mentioning the matchup right at the start of the game. Chibs up against Chimera, Aurelia versus Cassiopeia, and so far Chimera has been dominant across the course of this game. He's got 7 kills, he's got a 600 gold bounty, but most importantly, the miasma during these fights has been shutting down Yusa, it's been shutting down Chibs, it's been shutting down Only Angel.
Absolutely, and even if it's not the miasma, he has slows, he has burns, he has so much in his kit, so much damage as well that no one can really withstand. And there's Nolty who has his adaptive helm, but even then it feels like he shreds through the Olaf. And the healing as well. Watch as he twins fangs the wave and he heals a massive amount. He's in such a powerful position to carry these fights, but if they get on top of him, they can punish him. He is still pretty squishy. You saw how much damage Only Angel was able to do, but even then it wasn't enough. Next fight may well decide the game.
This is just crazy to see how awesome of a matchup this is between MNM and Phelan. If you had asked me 3 days ago, who's going to give MNM a run for their money during the Gauntlet, Phelan is not the team I would have told you.
And
this was a bottom of the table team. These were almost relegated.
And yet they were able to take a game of MNM during the regular season. And that was a surprise in itself, and people were like, maybe it's a fluke. But here and now, they're trying to prove otherwise. You can see big items completed by UC. He's gone for that Rabadon's, fully embracing the AP build. Will mean that the rest of Phelan who have itemized for armor, you look at the top and jungle, you look at the support as well, all armor, UC will shred them, but the weird nerfs on this patch, a little bit less AP ratio. It's not going to do as well in the late game as you'd expect.
But we've been seeing how much damage his True Shot Barrage does. It will annihilate that team if they stack up, if he can hit multiple members. Retreating through the jungle now. Chib's going to drop his stun just to ward off the side of Phelan. Oh my god. That is insane.
Absolutely is. Arcane Shift force. Wisdom might be looking for something. He has his flash.
The health bar's already very low for Wisdom. Get out of there, my friend. Bear Tree now going to be the next target. Achu in trouble. Yusa flashing forwards to try and force the issue, but can't quite find his mark.
Wisdom should just go for a recall here. He has the ult to join the fight. Yusa burns his flash to try and get a pick onto Achu, and that might cost him dearly. The next fight, you can see both the Baron and the Elder spawning soon. This is where it comes down to it. This is where it really matters.
Man, I can feel myself getting gray hairs from the stress of this game. And that's just as a spectator. Imagine one of these players. Shogun's been caught out, though. He's in serious trouble. Will resurrect. Yusa's gone down in the other side. Wisdom now going to be trying to save Soft's life as he jumps away. Achu somehow surviving at the same time. 3 members left for MNM. Wisdom looking for the chase down. Chimera and Bear Tree going to be there as well. Soft looking to head off this squad. This is so important for Phelan. Look at Only Angel playing the distraction game. Soft, you don't want to overcommit to that one, my friend. In the meantime, though, Achu is pushing.
Yeah, he's pushing up at the mid lane, but Baron's up, Elder Dragon's up. I feel like MNM have their choice. They can probably get both. They have to handle Achu in the mid lane, so they will stop that Baron. Naughty's gone to base.
Phelan don't even have to choose between objectives. They've gone for the mid lane, they've gone for the Baron, and Achu's already headed towards that Elder Dragon. They need to be careful not to bite off too much, though, because there's going to be respawns in 10 seconds.
They will get that Baron. They're heading over to the Elder. You can see already Achu started it up. Might has gone down for Soft. He used it on the Baron, but it's coming up very soon. He has another stack. If they get both, this could be huge.
Here comes Bear Tree. They're going to finish this one off. Both major objectives going to Phelan. The Gauntlet dreams still alive right now, but the game's not over yet.
And the big thing was that Yusa greedily burnt his flash and he was punished for him. Achu jumped on him. He managed to take him out. 80 carry versus 80 carry. Mano a mano. He shut him down, and that is why they won that last team fight. And now they're up in gold for the first time this game. They have the Baron, they have the Elder. It's in their hands.
Certainly is, and now Phelan starting to push on in. They have everything in their favor. The inhibitors are back on the map, and Phelan, all of the pressure is on them. But MNM, this is a team with a reputation. This is a team with a legacy.
Oh, that was a lot of damage.
That was a lot of damage, but it's not enough to force anything right now.
It'll force recalls, but at the end of the day, Achu has teleport. He's going to go bot lane. He's going to look for that last out of tower, but in return, MNM, they're going to push straight up mid.
2 minutes on the Baron right now, and MNM trying. I love this from MNM. This is why MNM is such a great squad to watch. They're not just going to back away. They're forcing the issue, making sure that Phelan can't just pick an objective. They can't just pick a lane to push. MNM are taking the fight to them.
But look at Wisdom on the flank. You can see Achu going for the empowered recall. They're going to look for this here and now.
They're looking for the inhibitor. A little bit more damage will finish it off. Yusa very aggressively positioned right here. Wisdom's behind him. The taunt lands. Miasma will be there, and he's dropped immediately. Chip's now the target as he gets Dragon Rage back into Chimera. There's nowhere he can go, and he falls as well. 2 more kills for Phelan.
They can just look for the end. They still have the Elder. They have the Baron buff. Achu is fishing for Naughty, but he won't find him. But their carries for MNM are down. They still have Only Angel, but they've lost Yusa, they've lost Chibs, and Phelan are pushing.
All of the damage is down right now. Phelan looking for this miracle win. They are the underdogs, and they're looking to run the gauntlet. First tower going to be dropping right here. Inhibitor will fall to shreds. Still 25 seconds on these recalls. And MNM, I don't know if they can take this fight. CC starts to land. Only Angel backs away, but the turrets are falling. They're focusing the base. It looks like they've got it. Phelan take game number 1.
What a performance. We said we hadn't seen them from behind. They just went behind and they came back huge.
What was that? Phelan bringing it home 1-0. They still haven't done it. They've got another game to go. But what a performance. How lucky are we to see series like this today?
It's so hype, and there were so many crucial moments where it came down to a little misplay, a little bit of greed that cost him. Yusa overstepping by using his flash earlier led to his death. And then there, he wanted the inhibitor. He thought, I can just shift over this wall. And he did, right into Wisdom's taunt, and that cost them huge.
Wisdom has been such an MVP for this team all the time. Phelan have been relying on his presence and his shot calling, but knowing that they're going to go for a play like that, knowing to position aggressively, get ready for a taunt, and it pays dividends. It pays with a game 1 win.
And Chimera on this Cassiopeia shut down so much of the plays coming out from MNM. You saw Only Angel in one of those Baron fights jump on top of him, and he still managed to win in melee range from an Aatrox. So much power in this Cassiopeia. I just got to credit all of Phelan's roster, and it's not like MNM. It's not like the other games we've seen in the Gauntlet, where it's been a bit one-sided. They put out a really strong performance. They had a great early game, but they just could not handle the Irish Wolves. They get shut down. The great turnaround comes in, and they've got to go back to the drawing board because they still have to play this series out. It's 1-0 to Phelan, but remember, it is a best of 3.
It certainly is a best of 3. There is plenty of time for MNM to recollect themselves, go back to the drawing board, and bring it during game number 2. They had a phenomenal early game. They had a phenomenal every part of the game. It was just once it got to these late game team fights, Phelan had their number, capitalizing on these mistakes, managing to punish MNM for overstepping. We'll see if that'll be a theme here, or if MNM can bring this one back. We're going to head into a quick break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this.